think... Yeah, I think this was around the time when I would think I was the only one with the 3DS. So that was kind of... That was kind of fun, though. I don't really think there was much of anything else during Gen 7. I think I got it on the day of, but it was really weird though. So where I was at the time was that there wasn't a GameStop or EB Games there, so I had to go to a different store, which you can't actually pre-order the cartridge. I don't know why, but for some reason you couldn't, which was weird to me. But anyway, like, I was really confused. But you can grab, I forget what it was called. It was like an eShop card kind of thing. Or a Nintendo eShop card. And what it was that you can sort of like pre-purchase it that way. But what it was a digital copy of the game. And if you don't know this, don't get me wrong, I didn't know this either. The normal 2DS and 3DS like console itself has about a 4 gigabyte, pretty much, roughly thereabout, internal space. Which for Pokemon Sun and or Moon, mind you, depending on which one you ever get, that's enough to fill the cartridge, enough to fill the game, fill the console pretty much, and then that's it. You can't put anything else on there. You can't put any other games on there because it doesn't have the space for it. I was really confused at this point in why would they not give you the option to pre-order the cartridge itself, and they're going to give you this version. Who knows? And this was around the time again where I paid more than I think I needed to, because I gave the guy $50 for the game, and I'm like, is that normal again for this type of area? Like, this type of era now? Like, is it still $50 or is it $40 now? And I didn't really care. I got the game. Who cares? But here's the weirdest thing, though. I was able to... When I was able to download it and it fully installed and all that stuff, I was like, can I play it early? Like, oh my god, the game is done and I can actually play it early. I click it. It says, sorry, your console or the date is not this. So I went, okay. I know there's a couple of workarounds around this kind of stuff. I think... Was it ORAS or was it something else? I forget. But there was one thing that's like, if you change your internal clock on your device to be like later, then things will work better or something like that. Or things will work as if it thinks it's that date. So I went, okay, I'm gonna go and try this then. And I think I tried it, and then it never really worked as if it should. So I went, oh, okay, so it doesn't work that way. Then I'm like, wait, maybe it's checking my internet connection. Turn off the internet, did it again. It's like, please connect to the internet. And I went, oh, okay. Or it's like trying to connect to internet, can't connect to internet, won't load program, or something like that, or won't load game. So I'm like, okay, so it needs internet connection to confirm that that date is either past or it's that current date. So I went, okay, that's fine. So I had a lot of fun with that. I don't know, I think I had a lot of fun with Sun, and then I think later on I changed locations, so I was able to actually go to EB Games. I bought a 2DS, which I think I've already said on a video that is homebrew now, but at that point it wasn't. But what I didn't say is that on that same day, I also got another copy of Pokemon Sun, and I ended up playing with, I think, a different starter at that point, I think. Right? Yeah, because I think the first one, I'm trying to remember, was it Litten? Yeah, I think it was Litten. And I caught pretty much any Pokemon I could on that route, too. The first route I could, and then I went, okay, that's fine. And then I think... Yeah, because it was the day after. I went straight to the GameStop that kind of almost ripped me off of White 2. And I went and bought Pokemon Sun there. And I also bought my 2DS there. Which is actually kind of cool. It actually came with a game pre-installed on it. And I kind of went, I don't want to delete the game because I don't know if I could get it back again for this, like, for free kind of thing. So I went, guess I'll keep it. And then when I was able to homebrew the console, I was able to extract the game. The game came with the console, but I didn't know if I could get it again for free because I had the console. So what was really cool was that with the homebrew, you can actually extract a game out. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to extract the game out, and then there you go, there's my game. I technically bought the game, it came with the console, so I was like, okay, there you go. And then I think I beat Sun. With a decent team. I think I was... And this was back when I think I was starting to get towards building Pokemon competitively kind of thing. Or at least I had a good sense on what moves were really good competitively. And I was like, okay, so I have Decidueye, which is a really good Mon. So I went, okay, so with Decidueye, I can actually do, you know, potentially a lot of damage. I gave it, I think its move pool that I kept with was its Spectral Arrow, I think? I don't remember what its special move was. But I always kept it with that. I kept it with Leaf Blade because... well, I kept it with any move that it could get Stab off of because why not? Stab is really good to have a hold of. And I gave it, what was the other one? I gave it Swords Dance so I could get +2 in attack, which since Decidueye had that sort of good thing about it where it was a physical attacker, I went Swords Dance is freaking perfect. And then I gave it, what was the other one? I gave it Roost, because I think it learns it as a, I think it learns it as a level up move. I don't, oh, it's Spirit Shackle, sorry. I think its Z move is probably like Spectral Arrow or something like that. I don't know. Let's go with Gen 7. I think I'm at Gen 8 Dex. There we go. Oh, look at the Z moves. It's one of them. Oh no, I think it's Aerostorm or something like that. Or maybe that was my nickname for it. Sinister Arrow Raid, that's what it was. Yeah, that's what it was, okay. Yeah, so my whole reasoning was that because Decidueye was my... like, he was my favorite out of all of the starters, pretty much. And when I looked up his hidden ability, I went, oh my god, that's amazing. Then I found out you couldn't get the hidden ability, so I was really, really sad. Because Decidueye's hidden ability is Long Reach, which means that moves that make contact don't actually make contact with the target. And I went, this is cool! Because the way that that kind of works is that anything that makes contact, you get affected by Cute Charm, I think. I'm pretty sure you get affected by Cute Charm, unless Cute Charm means any move that hits a Pokemon with Cute Charm, you get that sort of infatuation, or any moves that make target. You don't get affected by Aftermath, because you have to make physical contact with the opponent, but with Long Reach you don't do that. You don't get affected by Static, you don't get affected by, like, Rough Skin, or Iron Barbs. Like, you don't get affected by these kinds of things, and I'm hearing these people going like, oh, this is a stupid hidden ability, and I'm like, really? Like, do you guys not understand this? Like, do you guys not understand the implications that this has? Like, this has, like, that could devastate a person who's like, oh, I have this Rocky Helmet, Rough Skin Pokemon, it's gonna be amazing, and then all of a sudden, you don't see that you're doing anything against a Decidueye, and you're like, how is this possible? It's not that. Like, it's not like the greatest combo, but like, it's a really good thing too. At least it was in my opinion. And I went, wow. And then I ended up giving, I think my first Decidueye, I think I had to give it protective pads. I think is the item. Could be wrong, but I think it was protective pads. I think that's the item. Let me see. Could be wrong. Is this the item I'm thinking of? This whole item will prevent Pokemon with any damage or effects they would receive from making physical contact to their opponent. Yeah, so it's pretty much Long Reach. And I ended up like giving my Decidueye this up until I can end up getting the hidden ability. And when I think, was it Ultra Sun and Moon, I think that it came out where you can actually do it? Or did they have an event before then? I think it was an event before then. Oh, when I also went through Sun and Moon, or Pokemon Sun the first time, technically the second, because I never got far enough in order to actually give myself it. But the second time, when I was with my Decidueye, I actually did go through the Pokemon Sun and Moon demo. I only missed one day, which I think was supposed to give you like a nugget or something. It was like some other item that it didn't really matter if you missed that day kind of thing. So pretty much I had the Battle Bond Greninja during this entire time, and I think I barely used it. Or I only used it in very certain circumstances. Which someone would say, it doesn't really mean you used it kind of thing. It was only there, pretty much. Because I had the XP share on. Not like it mattered, because I only ever used Decidueye, and the only time I ever used a Greninja was mostly in double battles, or when I was against the trial where Greninja was super effective against. Minus grass. And I think the only one that gave me trouble. And this is funny because everybody says that that trial is not really that difficult, but for me it was, because I was barely leveling up Decidueye as much as I should have. So I was against the Ghost trial. I went against, I think, the Mimikyu. And I was with my Decidueye. Which is really, really, like, dumb nowadays. But, like, before, I was trying my best to actually, like, defeat this trial with pretty much only my Decidueye. Every other Pokemon is pretty much not even geared up specifically to go and end up dealing with such a monster like that. So I ended up trying to deal as much damage with Decidueye before Decidueye went down, and I went, well, I have nothing to counter this. Because I thought that they would have something like something not Mimikyu. Because I did not know its typing, but I had a feeling it was Ghost something. And I went, how come I'm not doing as much damage? And then later on, I discovered that Mimikyu is actually a Ghost Fairy. I went, oh, that's why I wasn't doing much damage. Or wait, no. I'm trying to remember, did they ever reveal it during Sun and Moon's, like, whole fiasco, pretty much almost revealing everything in the game? Maybe they did. They might have. I might have just forgotten it. Either I forgot about it, or I knew about